Can someone challenge the Tesla Model Y in price performance? Well, this one maybe can. This is here the new BYD Sealion 7. It is indeed Tesla Model Y size, and also from the specs and data and so on. And pricing wise also very close. And here we're going to find out how close it can get to the Tesla Model Y. Or is this one even better? We'll find out together. I'm Thomas, this is Autogefühl in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go with the front. Really streamlined look, actually pretty modern, pretty cool, and very European look, I have to say. And here the daytime running light, you can see here also goes there in a white color, different colors, and also for the body paint available, and the large BYD lettering. We're also going to find out if there is a Frunk today or not. The length at 4.83 meters or 190 inches, and wheels 19 or 20 inch. These here are the bigger 20-inch wheels. Also see how this one behaves in the comfort. And the BYD Sealion 7 gets frequency selective dampening. Is the passive mechanism, but still, you know, makes the span between comfort and sportiness and dampening a little bit larger. So that's very interesting, and we'll test it today on the German Autobahn and even go high speed. And then there's the rear drive model at 6.7 seconds in the acceleration figure, but this one is the all-wheel drive model, so you have one electric motor per axle. Here at 4.5 seconds in the acceleration figure, so also performance-wise getting all close to the Tesla Model Y. And batteries, of course, interesting to know right now. We drive the one with a big battery here today, 91 kilowatt hours. There's a little bit smaller one, 82 kilowatt hours. And gross and net are very close at BYD. Both batteries are LFP batteries, so they're also interesting as for the chemistry, because they're not so sensitive to where you keep them, you know, in which charging status. So a little bit less sensitive for the customer than if you would choose the NMC chemistry. So we'll also see about that. And the charging figures are 32 minutes or 24 minutes from 10 to 80% state of charge here for the bigger batteries. So they promise also very good fast charging capabilities at 200 kilowatt peak. And the rear perspective, you can see it's more like a SUV coupe shape. You also have maybe seen the Sealion in the review. That is a little bit smaller and is more a little bit upright and doesn't have the power figures that this one here has. And it's also interesting that worldwide, it's sometimes confusing with the names. So if you watch one of our BYD reviews and says, wait a minute, in my market, this vehicle looks completely different, that's normal, because they use sometimes the same names for different models on different markets. It's pretty confusing. But in Europe, this one here definitely the Sealion 7 now. And here with a cool structure like this segmented or dot style. So I really like the styling. And here, the acceleration figure literally stands at the back of the vehicle here for the all-wheel drive model, 4.5 seconds. And you might say, hey, that's maybe too much showing off. But then again, I think it's better to put it that way than, you know, like Audi does, like 45 TSI. What the hell is that supposed to mean? No one knows, even they don't know what it is. You know, some manufacturers have like really weird namings for their cars, meanwhile, which don't have any logical background. So why not making it just as it is? So I think that's then in this case totally fine. Then I pulled this one twice, like the BMW system. Is there a Frunk or not? Ta-da, there is one, and this is actually 60 liters, so you can house a couple of cables or even more, so that's nice. Turning indicators in the front, already with this cascading style, so that looks cool. It's a nice new interpretation of that one, isn't it? And in the rear, yeah, indicators are also cascading, so also nice signature here, definitely. Nice logo detail on the inside of the door handles here when you close them, flush integrated. When you open the vehicle, this is the key fob, by the way. Yeah, the key fob is not my favorite, honestly, but here the door handles, they have good feedback. So when you open them, when you like what you feel, it's extremely solid and high class. Door closing sound is nice. Really solid as well. Then let's check out the inside of it. Look at that here. It goes really low, so it protects the door so that it stays clean. Then here, inside of the doors, everything wrapped for the materials. This is the opener here, by the way. Nice also the window levers, and let's roll them down. See here the dual lamination, so that's good. Nice for the, you know, soundproofiness, let's call it that way. Just here hard pack on the lower part. This could use some fabric here, I have to say. Then the entry sill badge right here, and steering wheel with this open spoke design, but real buttons at the steering wheel actually, so that's good. Here also set the cruise control. Right side you can control the volume, for example, stalk, so that's the difference then to the Model Y, when this one will get the Juniper update, for example, that you have a lot of buttons and stalk still left. Then here the seats. So this is the higher trim, that means it's animal skin. The lower trim would have the leatherette seats in like gray, blue or also black. And yeah, I would always go then for the animal-free version, of course. Steering wheel, they don't have any material, alternative materials yet for that. And there, of course, Tesla is way better because they are completely then animal-free. They are here not BYD, so I hope they also work on that aspect. Then seat in lowest position, you sit relatively high, and with 189, 6'2", still have some headroom left here, that's fine. And the steering wheel column here, you can set it manual, up and down, in and out. And when you then think about here the Tesla comparison, this one offers a head-up display, it has digital instruments, plus the screen, and so more classic setup here. Then cockpit overview, clearly 15.6-inch super large screen, and either horizontal or, famous for BYD, you can also put it to the vertical format like this. That of course looks pretty amazing. Then clean also here with this insert. Then you have some ambient lighting, which you can see very well at the night. Nice materials.
Behind this is dynamic ambient lighting.
Ah, yeah, right. You can also set to dynamic, then it changes constantly. If you would prefer that, I would rather prefer one color, but you can also set like one constant color. So it's just an option actually. And then you have here two pads for the phones. The left one is also with inductive charging, 50 watt, and also ventilated, so it stays cool then. It's just loud then. On the right side, just to put the phone there actually. Then you have a real shifting lever, so that's good to have, nice. And this also resonates very well with the rest of the quality. And also here, like what you feel and see here, for example, everything like galvanized for this metal knurling. This is for the driving modes. Left side for the recuperation. You can set a stronger recuperation if you like. Then the cup holders are adaptive here, and you can also press this button. Then they come a little more upward for like how tall the bottles are supposed to be actually. But just to put them in, you really need a small bottle for that, because here pushing that in with the your hand doesn't even fit in there. Then here, soft also for your elbow, good build quality, way more space underneath, for example also for Leah's handbag here. Then the glove box, smoothly dampened there, shut it. So the quality of the interior is, oh yeah, more space here. And then you have also the charging possibilities here, and also that's like nicely covered from the inside here with microfiber. So I'm really surprised of how good the build quality is. They've stepped up the game here. Also, if we consider like other BYD models we've seen, this is the highest quality we've seen here so far. Also compare it, for example, to the like way more expensive Xpeng G9 or something. That I would say like the quality is comparable. Isofix, by the way, here also on the front seat, gotta say that. So definitely, yeah, the animal-free aspect is better with Tesla, but here you feel they have more sense of detail, you know, so more, even I would say this has some luxury details already. Yeah, and then of course the more classic user interface, that you have everything what you're used to have from, let's say, classic cars, so to speak. Just here the climate control is also in the screen. Sometimes I feel that you have to set it a little bit higher than you actually should have it. You can also press the bigger buttons than here. So sometimes it gets a little bit cold, and then you have to make it a little bit warmer. But other than that, it was yeah, it was actually fine. And of course, the screen itself, the responsiveness is actually also good. That screen turning thing, by the way, is helpful here for the GPS, because then I do it like that. Here you can watch more ahead where you are actually going with that GPS. So that is the good use case for that. And a quick driving preview, because I want to show you some funny stuff. So there's this stuff then here scanning me, and when I'm actually pretend to be tired like this, then tiredness detected, please take a rest. Driver POV, once again here with the buttons in the steering wheel, and also once again a nice build quality. Then the digital instruments do the job. The speed could be a little bit bigger. I also more like a centralized speed or something like that. There you can also check the average consumption. And it's also good that here with pressing and holding the mute button, you can also deactivate that speed limit warning chime. And then you also get this head-up display right there. Does the job, and the central screen in the control. Here we can click through some of the menus. Is quick enough, and I think the Tesla screen is a little bit quicker, but most of the other competitors, also from Europe, for example, the manufacturers, they are slower than this screen here. Yeah, I would like to have another possibility here for the temperature changing, but yeah, here you can, for example, swipe like this, and you can also have this energy meter here, for example, there. So the energy consumption that you also basically know from Tesla. And it's also important, it even has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, what Tesla does not have. And there we are. This is the Apple CarPlay integration in your face. I mean, like one icon is bigger than my smartphone always. So this is probably the largest CarPlay integration I have ever seen. What happens though when I see here, in the CarPlay mode, it does not support the screen switching. Interesting, but when I go here, then it works. So obviously, but what happens when I now switch to CarPlay again? Can't be fooled with. So I have seen in the Sealion there it was that it remained like that, but then it was small scaled, but here obviously, yeah, switches back to this one then. And the quality of the cameras is really exceptional here. Rear camera and this like fake drone view from above. Here, front view camera, this is really good. The only thing that sometimes happens when you hear in the camera perspective and then it switches, now it does it here. So it also works, but then let's switch back, see if that, yeah, here, then, now it does it. So sometimes it was that the camera was stuck in that one direction, but now it worked perfectly. So sometimes maybe the software is irritated, but here now in this live demo, it worked very well. So really good quality. And Leah presents you today's mirror check. Let's check it out. Similar like in a Tesla. Yeah, with some light and this soft cover, so to speak. Yeah, that's something they probably also checked out at Tesla. Door handles, they're like not door handles, like the handles from the inside, yeah. So she can hold on tight when I'm driving like crazy again. Even in the rear, in the rear they're also there. It's a bit dark back there, but we have four handles on the inside from the roof. Rear seats, let's check it out. Good build quality also of the rear door. This is the handle. And here also just hardware at the inside of the doors, but it looks everything pretty good. Even a small entry sill badge here for the rear seats. And then we have an even floor, so using that EV platform, of course. ISOFIX at the outside seats each. Then here, folding that one down, so we have some cup holders. They're also adaptive, so that's a nice mechanism here. Then we have some space here underneath. Yeah, I gotta say, once again, that the build quality is really very good. Also here, for example, in the middle part, you have seat heating for the outside, at least like in this higher trim version. And here you click here, then you have the two USB-C chargers and also the clicking sound there. Wow, that's actually pretty good. And you have to always remember the price, which we talk about at the later stage. And then here, look at that. This is as I would be driving. This is a lot of legroom. So they're really using that length here. The packaging is good. And headroom, let's put up the head restraint here. Headroom with 1A9 still some headroom left. Of course, I can also change the inclination of the seat. For that, however, I always have to go here, so that probably something that you maybe set once or something and not constantly or while driving or something like that. But it's actually very decent and comfortable, nice seating position, and this panoramic glass roof here, you can see the full scale of that one. The big difference is, however, that here, you can maybe always see it here, so that what we have not in the Tesla, we do have here, and that is this complete shade when it's really a very, very sunny day. So it's very good to have that to block out the sun. Then the trunk or the boot, of course, electric hatch, 520 liters. Let's check it out. Here, there's the top cover like that. Then we have a meter of 40 inches in width, and the length here, It's actually at 1 meters and 5 or 41 inches. It's not too high here though, because of this SUV coupe styling, but this one is here like 66 centimeters or 26 inches. And underneath, let's see if there's any more space. There's a nice mechanism here. So this is like when you have the even sill here, but you can also put it in a lower stage. Then you have even a little bit more height, or you could also put it out completely or fold this one up, and that's why we have so many liters. So this one here is another storage. This one just like some stuff here. There we go. So like in the Tesla Model Y, another big storage underneath, so that's good. And to fold the seats, I can also reach over here, so that is possible. There we go. And yeah, this needs some power to fold. Yeah, and then I have to go around to really fold it flat, but I wanted to check out the total length. It's like 119 meters or 75 inches. And let's just check it out, how far we can push them down. Yeah, like this. Oh, and they're also then secured actually. Sport mode. Woo! That was 50 kilometers an hour to 180 kilometers an hour here with the all-wheel drive version of the BYD Sealion 7. That's good. Doesn't trigger the Lear meter because, I mean, 4 point something seconds to 1 kilometers an hour is like, oh, whatever, you know. Like for Lear is meanwhile like used like 2 or 3 seconds acceleration figures, and then she's going to scream. Yeah, but definitely really quick. So super powerful, and already if you are at speed here, so like 120 kilometers an hour, you just push it through, goes forward. I mean, like the M5 we just had that has, you know, more push at higher speeds definitely. So we're just used to having the M5 now for the last 2 weeks. So this is a difference still, but I mean, good performance figures, and at the same time, nice and calm power delivery as well. And now this is here a typical motorway speed at 130 kilometers an hour. So like 70, 75 miles per hour. And the noise insulation is decent, actually good. Maybe a little bit from the side mirrors, or what does the expert of noise insulation says? Yeah, maybe a little bit, but overall good. And I mean, if we compare it to a Tesla Model Y, definitely well comparable. So maybe even a little bit better as well noise insulation. So definitely good. We have the 20-inch wheels here, and this one is also equipped with the frequency selective dampers, so standard for the Sealion 7. I would tend to stick with the smaller wheels for this one, because when you run through potholes, then I sometimes feel that you feel it a little bit too much. But in the normal driving, I think it's actually quite good, also here on the motorway. So when I go a little bit right and left, the vehicle doesn't shake up much. The steering could feel a little bit more natural. Let's see how it differs also from the sport mode to the normal mode. Yeah, here it's a little bit lighter, but you really have to be careful, let's take it that way. So you shouldn't push the steering wheel too much, because it's more a little bit gaming-like, let's take it that way. So you don't have a most natural feeling with the steering wheel. A little bit artificial, but fine commands are already transported. So that is then, yeah, let's say, the good thing about it. We can also go off the motorway here and then go on once more for another acceleration, because that's definitely really exciting here. Looking forward to that. There we go. Let's get off here. I was intentionally doing that because you see like a little bit the car is shaking. So I would say that the setup is a little bit sportier in the Tesla Model Y. You sometimes also see that with Tesla, that you see their vehicles from the outside, and they'll be like, you see them shaking because the suspension is so stiff actually, but like these very small and quick shakes. So then from 30 kilometers an hour, let's find a safe spot to enter once again. Here we go. Plop, that's 100. So that was 30 to 100. And here actually from standstill, from lower, from lower speeds, you feel it even more. So definitely here, the performance is more in the low speed areas than in the higher speed areas. And that's really fun thing. With the M5, it was completely the other way around, you know, so that there was like the real punch in the high speed areas with that V8. So very interesting to have that. I feel the steering wheel could be a little bit better centered. Seems to be a little bit offset here. Yeah, but that's a software calibration thing. So let's take it that way. As for the driving dynamics, forward, excellent. Sideways and how you get a feeling for the vehicle. Let's say I don't feel one with it, you know. There, for example, a Tesla Model Y feels sportier. Then again, the suspension is stiffer, so I feel that suspension-wise, here the Sealion 7 gives you more comfort. These frequency selective dampers also with being passive, so it doesn't change according to the driving modes, but they're passively adaptive and they also enlarge the span between sportiness and comfort. So that's actually a good thing to have that one. And yeah, maybe Tesla updates suspension at some point, maybe with the Juniper update, we have to see about that. But as I said, it's also always about the wheel choices. They are also always very, very important. And I would definitely go with the 19-inch wheels to give some more comfort. Yeah, that's what I mean when I'm going straight now. I feel that steering wheel should be like this, you know, so a little bit offset. Yeah, you maybe know my personal car episode. I had it in my Audi that the steering wheel was also offset. That had to be calibrated at the dealer. So this is usually something you can then easily also fix by software. So I think for a motorway vehicle, it's doing fine here. German Autobahn test is of course very important here always when we have the vehicles in Germany. And here like a standard motorway traveling speed in most countries, which is more like 100 kilometers an hour, 60 miles an hour, then you feel it's reasonably silent. It also more goes like above 130 kilometers an hour, where it's get loud. That's probably a German thing, but this one here can even go quicker than 200 kilometers an hour, or quicker than 125 miles an hour. The official number is 215, but supposed to go quicker. Not sure if we can test it here on the next motorway bit. Sometimes we can, sometimes not. It always depends on how, how crowded the motorway is. Here once again, a little bit some right and left. How does it feel for you as a passenger then? Okay, but not great.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is that yeah, as I said, it's a little bit shaky then, but for running straight, that's actually fine. Another thing I like about this vehicle is that you still have a lot of classic user interface elements. For example, also when I just press and hold the mute button, then it cancels this EU law speed limiter, where you have like the chime when it goes more like 1 kilometer an hour over the speed limit. This maybe now people think that this is a parking lot, whereas it's not. Oh. Woo. Yeah, and that's a good thing. So here you can do a quick overtaking maneuver easily and you are gone. That's actually pretty nice. Now here this S combination. Yeah, I would say there have been vehicles that were more fun here in that respect. So it's not the most interesting. Yeah, so there is a reason that there is a wide line splitting the two lanes. Yeah.
German Autobahn thing.
Genau, yeah. Genau, I'm just saying genau for like,
Genau.
that's like exactly, genau is exactly in German. So this here a part where we can once again go to the sport mode. There you can also switch it without going to the screen there. That's also a good thing. And there we can try to see if we can go to top speed. And yeah, that should be easily done here. There we go. Now there's also a transverse bump coming, a transverse joint. See how, yeah, there's one. And there's another one coming very soon, 180. Yeah, I would say like at these speeds here, when you're then also a little bit bumpy and in corner, doesn't feel that good to drive it that quickly, I have to say. So it's not the vehicle you would say, I have fun driving it in Nürburgring Nordschleife or something like that. So it's always good to have this, you know, like that, like the experience, how it really handles on the Autobahn. But for me, the most important thing is running straight. Suspension is comfortable. If you go with the wheel size smaller, it will be even better. And also the noise insulation is good. And if you're, I like actually the Ioniq 6. Leah doesn't like it, actually, design-wise. But I found, have you seen it? Also in that color there, I found it, it's pretty cool because it's unique, you know. But I sometimes, Okay. Okay, I don't like.
We don't like it.
I still like it. I still like it. Yeah, I sometimes like unique vehicles, you know, and yeah. Okay. Ilya likes the Tesla, so.
Exposed.
Exposed, yeah. Then we can test some assistance systems. Let's check that one out. So we can click it here, then adaptive cruise control. I can also set the speed, and let's see how nervous or not it is from the steering here. Whoa, now the sun's really blinding here. So here, let's see, slightly right bend, keeping the car in the lane. Some corrections, but overall fine. Yeah. Of course, I have to hold on to it's a level 2 system. Let's also trigger the blind spot monitor. There we go. Some small triangle also works nice. So assistance systems wise, it also works nicely. I think, like from the overall quality, it feels really good. So it's a very, very competitive car, no doubt about that. And yeah, if we then think about like in driving, especially to the Tesla Model Y, all the facts and figures are kind of similar. Noise insulation might be a little bit better. Driving dynamics is better with the Tesla actually, but on the cost of having less comfort. So this one, the more comfy version then, so to speak. What would you say? Would you pick it Model Y or this one?
Model Y.
But why? But why?
I think it's more silent.
You think it's more silent?
Yeah, yeah.
We're gonna test it again,
And
definitely.
when you drive high speed, it's more.
Yeah, because
in the
it's
lane,
okay.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like when you drive high
I
speed.
feel safe with the Tesla at high speed. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So Leah likes more high-speed Tesla driving.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that. Yeah, but I think
But
it's
the suspension is better here.
yeah, suspension is better here definitely. So I think it's interesting that you have it in the choice. Like if you more want in the comfortable direction, this would be your choice, and if you like that sportier, stiffer setup, then it would be more the Tesla Model Y. Very interesting. Pricing starts here in Germany at 48,000 euros, rear-wheel drive, small battery, and then 59,000 euros with the all-wheel drive and a little bit bigger battery. And that is, comparing the Tesla German prices, a couple of thousand euros more expensive, like 3,000 to 4,000 euros more expensive than the Model Y. So price-wise, definitely almost in the same region. So after driving with good acceleration, high speed and so on, we did another consumption test and more drove some 100 kilometers an hour, 120 kilometers an hour, so like 60, 70 miles per hour. And that one resulted in a consumption here of 21 kilowatt hours on 100 kilometers, so that's a little bit less than 3 miles per kilowatt hour. Not that efficient, honestly. So that would mean a real world range of more than 400 kilometers or more than 250 miles for the big battery, and a little bit less than 400 kilometers or a little bit less than 250 miles for the smaller battery. And there, actually, the Tesla Model Y is still better because it's so much more efficient. So yes, here the BYD Sealion 7. Yeah, you always want to say Seal because the BYD Seal is like the most popular one so far in the recent years. Here, the BYD Sealion 7 is definitely a good competitor here to the Tesla Model Y. It has, in a way, more features, for example, with instruments, head-up display, buttons, levers, store columns, and so on. That's what I like better with this one here. It's also a little bit more comfortable from the suspension. Then, however, sportiness is a little bit better than with the Tesla Model Y. And also, this one here is less efficient. And yeah, of course, with electric vehicles, this is a very crucial factor. So the Tesla Model Y will still have a better range resulting from the better efficiency. What do you think here about the Sealion 7? Tell me in the comments and check out our Model Y review or some other competitors.